Welcome to our new episode of Working with Agents. Today we look at China speed. What does it mean? We look at using AI for research, for deep research, strategic research, corporate strategy at a very, very high level, compiling a lot of information and making it into a strategy that is both convincing and actionable. We ask 5 AIs the same question. We ask first Copilot. What is China speed? Why should corporate care? What are the top 3 recommendations to explain China speed to the headquarters? And what are the top 3 recommendations to get the best out of China speed and foreign heritage? We didn't even define a role. We keep it very, very open. And we're expecting the AI to go and look out for information. In Copilot, remember if you use Copilot that you have different options. We use GPT-5. GPT-5 is embedded inside Copilot. What we got from Copilot is not wrong. It is true, but it's very, very superficial. The key driver of China speed, centralized decision, agility over performance, supply chain parallel execution, and government alignment. These are true. This is a good one. I would say it's your China speed 101. For large corporates living in China or in any country and asking a similar question maybe for another country, you won't wear much more than that. There are some examples, again, high speed, 1,000 bed build in 10 days and the transformation of Shenzhen. They are obvious, they are quite large, a general knowledge. Which corporate should care, same thing. Top 3 recommendation, use vivid case studies. Thank you very much. I would expect you, Mr. AI, to do that research for me. Where are the case studies? Again, something is missing there. Recommendation, hybrid governance model. It is true. A bit short again. Local rapid squad, yes, good one. And regulatory sandbox, pilot innovation in China. They're good. They're good. You're not going to convince a board or even an executive committee to give you budget with that. But again, it is not wrong. It is correct, just very superficial. That is what you can get from Copilot using GPT-5. Next, we're using DeepSeek R1 with internet search. This is very important. We use a search function so that R1 reasoning model from DeepSeek can go and look out for information. And what is really good when you use a search model, use a reasoning model in that sense, you have here the link to the original article. So I can go and I look out, is this a credible source? I can do my own due diligence afterwards, and I should do my own due diligence, which I didn't have when I was using Copilot. Where are these ideas coming in Copilot? We don't know. Using R1 with web search inside our new platform, AIM V2, I can go and look out for all these articles. The outcome is similar, a little bit more detailed. So competitive necessity, operational efficiency, market expectation. We also don't have enough details to convince an executive committee, but we can go and dig out a little bit deeper by ourselves. And we know these are backed up by trusted source of information. Again, it's for me to decide, do I trust this source or I don't trust this source? But overall, not much better than Copilot in terms of outcome. I don't have much to go. I don't have any compiling case that I can share with my board. If I'm the GM of a foreign company here in China, I don't have a lot of information to go and convince. It is still quite superficial. And next, we're using Manus, an AI agent. So Manus is running a few queries. Again, one of the things that I really like about Manus is its transparency. So I can see the results. I can see the queries. So these are the queries that Manus is issuing. We also can see the results. We can go and click on these articles one by one if we want to, if we are surprised by one of these. And again, trust the credibility. Wallenberger, that's a good source of information. TKGSB, what is it? I don't know. I can click on it and see what's there. So a lot more than in the previous one. So DeepSeek R1 just had 3 sources of information. Now we see that there are quite a lot. So every search is coming out with a lot of articles. And then the agent decided to zoom on this one. This one was actually also a reference from DeepSeek. There's the same article in there. And if we look at the outcome, we have way much more detail. So we have the key sources. So these are the key 5 articles that were chosen by the AI. It's important to see that the way these AIs are going to work in this mode, in the web search mode, they are looking for articles talking about China speed. They're not sourcing a lot of information and doing an analysis on what is China speed. They're looking for articles. You see China speed doing business in China, China competitive advantage, China speed. So these 5 articles have done the analysis, and now the AI is going to combine the information from these 5 articles. So summary, these are the articles. There's also academic insight, which is very interesting. So not only business articles, but research. And then a quick summary of what these articles cover. And then we have a detailed analysis of those key articles. We didn't ask for it. It's interesting. I would like a link to the previous article. If people at Manus are looking at this here, I would like to be able to click on this one here or either there. If I do want to check something, if I'm surprised by one of these things, a quote, this is nice. I can use a quote if I like that quote. Again, it would be great to have a link. Whenever I put out a quote for a presentation, or every week for our newsletter, I put a quote there. I always do and check by myself that this is accurate. That person is really in this position, or was at this position, and really said these words. Sometimes some articles on the media change a quote to make it to a slightly different meanings, to make it more click likely. So I really want to go and double check. So again, here a link would be very nice. Analysis of the second article, third article. At the end, these 3 analyses, they're not necessarily what I was looking for, but it's good background information. There, I have way much more information. So this one is really more convincing. So we're starting to get things that are more interesting. The quote has been integrated here. I can really put that together and create a deck of slides. Again, I'm missing the link back to the information, but this is starting to look like a really good strategic points that I can make out. I have a little bit more work to create the reference, but this is starting to look quite good. One thing also that AIs are now doing more and more, there are here 3 suggestions of what I can do. So generate the slides. That could be nice, as long as I can put them into my template. Provide case studies. Again, it would have been good to provide them inside the first trial, but I can do it in a second step. Next, we're using a very special mode of Kimi K2, which is the researcher. With a free account with Kimi, I have access to that. So I had one quota that I use especially for this one, especially for you, to show you the results. So in a researcher mode, Kimi is looking at a lot of sources. So I have a lot of articles here. I can click and see where they're coming from. I can assess the accuracy. Which is good is I also have the date when it's available. So I can see if it's outdated information or not. I really like the way it displays on the right side. It doesn't interrupt my reading, and I can just go on the right and back on the left. So pretty good. Harvard Business Review, KPMG, McKinsey. So the sources of information are really good. China Daily. So I tend to trust this one quite a lot. And as you can see, it's easier to have it on 2 sides of the screen. So very good UX here to go and quickly assess, am I looking at the right things based on trusted sources of information? Because this is all that matters with AI. The analysis will never be better than your sources of information. If these are the right sources, the analysis has a chance to be quite good. When I look at the outcome, it's not exactly what we're looking for in that case. It looks more like a paper, a research paper to be published than a corporate strategy. I can turn it into a PPT, but this is really a research paper. That is what the tool is doing for. That is why it's called a researcher. And you have an equivalent mode with GPT. It will give you something that you almost can publish in a scientific publication or on a website. Really nice to have the references here. I don't know what happened to those references when I'm doing a copy and paste, because at the end I want to copy, and there's a copy button, which is great. So this one researcher, not for corporate presentation, not for strategic presentation, but to publish a research on a topic. After review, validation of the sources, and a couple of work, this has saved probably 20 or 30 hours of research and drafting a first copy. It's really nice. It's really sleek. It's actually quite long. It's not finished yet, but this is a really, really good paper. If you want to publish, if you're a researcher, you can save, within 20 and 30 minutes. It takes a long time. I think it started almost 10 minutes ago, but it's really worth it. You don't have to look at it as it's written here. Researcher is in progress. You may leave the conversation during this time. Let's see where it goes later on. And finally, AnyGen. This one is by far the best. This is exactly what you want to have in terms of credibility of the sources, in terms of analysis, in terms of presentation, in terms of presenting the right case studies and the right elements, and in terms of writing links back to the original material. So very, very concise presentation, title, subtitle, right on point, multinational corporation, right there. Key findings, kind of a super, super sleek executive summary. 3 major points that are really highlighted, and I really like this presentation, very easy to digest. Quick definition with the reference, so I can click here and go back to see, is this a trusted source of information? Where does it come from? As now with AI, if there is one thing I want to change, there is one word I don't like, I can just come here and change it. So if I want to put quotes here in China speed, I just put it here, and that's it. My report has been updated. Why should corporate care? Here, very highlighted one major case study. So compared to the other AI, I don't need to go and look out for the case studies. It's already there. BYD versus Tesla. Very, very, very important one. Strategic imperative, again, high level summary, very strategic. I can put that in one slide. Boom, boom, boom. I have my 3 bullet points. Studies already there. I don't need to look for them. If I want more information, I have the link here on each one of them. Very well integrated. Highlight on Volkswagen brain model. And then, following my questions, what are the key recommendations to explain China Speed to headquarters? 1, framework as competitive survival, not optional innovation, with more details. The board presentation, what is the key sentence? 2 and 3. As for 3, they're there. I still have my references. How should I communicate to the board? Month 1, 2, 3. And the 3 best practice, very well summarized, unmessed, and then key points. So if we look back at these five AIs, so Copilot and DeepSeek R1, very generic, very high level, will not fly. Difference is that with R1, at least I have the references, but I only have 3 articles, and they're not the top consulting company. Manus starts to be quite better into providing more sources of information, better report. I really wish they could integrate the references and link back into the article. That will make all the control and due diligence better. Researcher from Kimi is a researcher, and the outcome is more a paper to publish. Huge time saving if you need to build a thick report for publication or internal communication. And finally, AnyGen, by far the best in terms of presentation, selection of case studies, sources of information, and the way the very sleek way it is being presented. If you want more strategic ways of using AI, subscribe to this channel. We will continue to explore the many ways we can use AI in strategic, important cases that will make your business thrive wherever you're running your company today.